Welcome back to 7th Circle Gaming. On today's video we're going to analyze the game Star Trek Resurgence. Before we do that, we do have the usual full disclosure. Everyone who's interested can pause the video and read through all of this. Everyone who would prefer not to, just let the video run. In this gameplay footage from the very start of the game, so as to avoid story spoilers, we want to share with you what the game world looks like, and we're also going to share with you a couple of the game's possible interactions. Those players that are already fans of the franchise on which this game is based will have already noticed that the game is firmly established as occurring within a specific time frame. In just a moment, we're going to see one of the conversation interactions that the game has, followed very shortly by one of the environmental interactions that the game presents players with. It should be noted that there is no way to fail this conversation interaction. Players must select an option. Unfortunately, in the interest of avoiding story spoilers, that's all of the gameplay clips we have for you on this video. So we will instead move on to our first chapter, which is Immersion, as it always is. Here the game has earned a very average score of 7.5 out of 15. Immersion in the game seems to rest on three separate pillars. These are presentation, player agency, and story. As we saw earlier in the gameplay footage, the game is presented in a third-person perspective, and the game is firmly set in a specific period of an existing franchise. The game also provides players a degree of agency as they shaping the course. Moving on now to difficulty, where the game has earned a score of 3.5 out of 15. The game does nothing wrong as far as difficulty is concerned, but it really doesn't do anything right either. The game does nothing While on one hand, the minimalist nature of the user interface is a positive, in some other situations within the game, the minimalist nature of the user interface can be a challenge for players to overcome. In some other situations within the game, for lasting appeal, the game has earned a very low score, again of 3 out of 15. And now get your salt handy, because we're going to go through a couple of highly subjective statements. First of all, while there certainly seems to be sufficient content to keep players invested enough to complete one playthrough, the idea of completing multiple playthroughs does not seem to be supported by the amount of content provided. The team produced this game is definitely made up of Star Trek fans. They've gone so far as to lift directly the title of an episode of the original series for one of the chapters. all of which
The game
lead us
does
to the
nothing
ultimate conclusion that
wrong
this
as
is a
far as
game for Star
difficulty is
Trek
concerned,
fans of
but
a
it
certain
really
age
doesn't
that
do anything
remember
right
all of the
either.
games that this one is attempting
Well,
to
on
reference.
one hand, the minimalist
I
nature of
certainly
the
would
user
not be
interface is
upset
a
if they
positive.
released
In
DLC
some
for
other
it.
situations within the
And on
game,
that
the
final, highly
minimalist
subjective
nature of
note,
the user
I do
interface
congratulate
can
everyone
be
who
a
watched all the way
challenge for
to the end
players
of
to
the video.
overcome.
If you've played the game yourself and
For
would like to
lasting
disagree
appeal,
with
the game
anything
has
that we've
earned
said
a
or
very
agree
low
with it,
score again
or
of
if you
3
do have a
out of
game that you'd
50.
like to see
While
analyzed
there
on the
certainly
channel,
seems
leave
to
it
be
in the comment
sufficient
section below.
content to keep players
Until the
invested
next
enough
video,
to complete
happy
one
gaming,
playthrough,
and goodbye.
the idea